Welcome back to continuing live coverage. Thousands of people were in the crowd Sunday night when bullets began flying. And as we've been hearing for days, many first responders and concert goers jumped into action in the aftermath. Now, of course, being hailed as heroes for their quick thinking and bravery during just horrific and tragic circumstances. Tonight we're joined by Joe Gieb and Travis Haldeman, both with the Clark County Fire Department. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. And we should point out, we talk about different perspectives here because Travis was at the concert, attending the concert with his wife, and Joe was on duty, and you had to respond to this. And I want to start with you, Travis, because you clearly were there. You were with your wife enjoying the concert. You hear the gunfire. Did you know right away this is gunfire?
No, I think like everybody else, we probably thought it was fireworks when the first shots rang out. Right. It wasn't until the next shots came that we realized really what it was. And
So you're with your wife, and you know you realize quickly this is bad, something's going on here, and you have to put on your your professional attire, right? Or at
yes,
least
sir.
Your mindset.
Yeah, got to make some real quick decisions really fast.
And what about your wife? Where do you put your wife, and then what do you do at that time?
We ran, took cover over a metal barrier, waited for a gap in gunfire, told her to run to safety, and did not stop running until she couldn't run any longer, and went to work triaging patients, making sure everybody got the help they needed.
And did she say, Travis, I'm not leaving without you, but you have to say, look, you got to go?
I think she understood what needed to happen in that situation, and I commend her for her bravery for willing to let me go to work.
So you're on scene, but Joe, you're working at this time, so you get the call. And what I'm hearing from today's news conference is that, one, you had 100, or more of your colleagues on site. But there was some radio communication that appeared to be kind of jumbled. You didn't quite know what was happening. Is that a fair assessment?
I think that'd be a fair assessment. There was a lot of people who showed up on scene, got our command in place, and really I think it's a testament to those individuals who are in command of our sections that got the information that we needed.
There were some who were saying that, they didn't know if there was one shooter, two shooters, but they were working on the premise there were multiple shooters, and they were going into a situation where they had multiple shooters, but people needed help.
Absolutely, and that's something that we have continuously trained for over the years in a partnership with the Metropolitan Police Department. And again, leaders in our fire service and our department throughout the valley who have just shown us what we need to do and have shown us, have taught us what to do.
So now we're both on the scene, right? You guys are both on the scene. You're a concert goer, but you're both working. And so what happens? How is it orchestrated? Because you have only so many of you guys to help out all these people who are wounded and some fatally injured. What's the orchestration? How does it work?
I was really just trying to get in where I could fit in, seeing what needed to be done and where my skill set would be best utilized. I think after bringing some people to the medical tent, determined that's where I needed to be, was in there helping triage and treating patients.
So that becomes a triage for you. And does somebody come in there to help you, or do you seek out more help, or are you kind of on your own?
There was no shortage of help inside of that triage tent. People with no medical experience to people with a great deal of medical experience were in there, all trying to help out everybody.
But I envision this scene where you're telling people kind of what to do. Look, this person needs this, and this person needs this. How does that work?
Yes, sir. Just trying to teach people how to put on tourniquets, where they need to go, how to control bleeding, what wounds we're going to be most effective on treating, and what wounds we just can't.
Right. And from your perspective, Joe, where are you at this point, and what happens?
So we arrive on scene with our multi-casualty incident unit, which is something that the Clark County Fire Department has, and it's loaded with equipment to take care of a multitude of patients in situations like this. Right. And really with as you mentioned, all the colleagues that were on scene, this was broken up into manageable groups, divisions, and branches.
How do you break it up? I mean, how do you kind of scatter? Is that what it is? You get on scene and you scatter, and he said, you get in where you fit in.
Right. So in the ICS world, what we try to do is really just get our arms wrapped around this problem, and we find strategic points where we have supervisors to begin utilizing resources appropriately and just managing what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be this monumental task, and you're in this tent, and were there people, I hate to ask this, but were there people that were mortally wounded inside that tent with you?
Yes, sir. We try to kind of save that space for injuries we could have an impact on.
Right.
Unfortunately, there's some that are just too far gone. There's nothing we can do.
And I have to ask you, so at what point did you get back in contact with your wife so that she knew you were okay? Does that happen during this whole thing, or was it much later?
Yeah, in the midst of the chaos inside the medical tent, I somehow miraculously got a phone call, and no one was getting out around that time. And it was an off-duty fireman's wife was actually with my wife. She called to tell me that she was okay, that she was on her way home, and I let her know I was fine and I'd be home sometime in the morning.
Same for you. Your family knows you're there because it's all hands on deck. When do they find out you're okay?
They actually were watching TV at the time. There's some friends who were just chronic insomniacs, called them up and said, hey, turn on the tube. And they were able to see that I was there. And then I called them when we got back to station.
Yeah. Gentlemen, heroes work, yeoman's work. Both of you, great to meet you.
I appreciate it.
Congratulations. Very nicely done.